Everybody, this is Watching the Doppler Radar here, and today I'm going to do a weather radio collection review. I own 9 NOAA weather radios. My first ever weather radio I received in 2012 that my dad bought me. It was June 6, 2012, and I got my first ever weather radio. Followed after that, I've collected a total of 8. Some of them pretty popular radios. Most of them are extremely common, and you can buy them pretty much anywhere on eBay. We'll start out with the first one, which is the very first weather radio I have ever received. The Acurite 08500 RX. This weather radio, not a lot of collectors really own because they don't really like it. I think it's an okay weather radio. It's pretty solid. The only problem is the scroll. The scroll is very annoying, especially when you're going through all the different settings, like the manual settings. It's really just a pain in the butt trying to edit and set up the county codes and all that. I'm in Mecklenburg County, based in Charlotte. I use WXL70, which is the strongest channel in Charlotte, besides KJY85 and KHC27 down in Rock Hill. But here's what it sounds like as far as the speaker.
Temperature was 64 degrees, with 2.44, and the relative humidity 48%. The wind was northeast at 9 miles an hour.
It's a great radio. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if you're a collector out there or you just want a weather radio, it's a pretty solid radio. The other problem is it doesn't have a siren. That's the other thing. It does not have a siren for watches or advisories, but it does if there is a warning for my county or your county. If you set the FIPS code to your county, it will relay a very loud beep and go on to max volume. So it does wake you up. It does serve a purpose, even though it doesn't really have a siren, but it does have a really loud beep, a really loud tone. And it will unsilence itself if there's a warning for your area. Okay, the next weather radio is the most popular on the market right now. This is the hottest radio right now for just about any person out there. It is the Midland WR-1020EZ, and this was my second ever weather radio I got on July 25th, 2015. This radio came out in 2012 when Midland canceled the previous WR100 series 1 through 5. Now all they are selling is really WR120s, WR300s, and WR400s are the main NOAA weather radios that they are selling, at least desktop radios. And here's what the alert test sounds like on this guy, and I gotta tell you, it's loud. And that is excruciating. I mean, in the middle of the night, there's no way you're going to sleep through that thing at all. I had 2 radios up until 2016, until I got the WR300 for Christmas in 2016. These were the 2 radios I had for the longest time. 2 years. I had that one 3 years before I had this one. That one has gone off for almost every single alert. I did take the antenna back onto that one because it broke a while back. I think it was like 3 years back. The antenna wore out. It was old. It broke off. Next radio is the Reecom R1630c, and I got this one off of Amazon. Surprisingly, they still have these. This one I got for $30. It's a very nice radio indeed. You know, the features on it. You can set alerts, you can block alerts, required weekly tests, avalanche warnings and whatever. You can block alerts, which is pretty useful. Siren volume, I have it almost at max. I still even have this maxed out, and I gotta tell you, this thing is loud. You can set your own county codes, your channel. I use WXL70, channel 4. Here's what the siren sounds like, and boy is it loud. That is like really loud. Now, this radio I would recommend. I'd probably recommend this radio. It's a pretty solid radio. It goes off for every alert, just like the 120 and the 08500 RX. They've gone off for every single alert they've had. I got this alert on November 12th during a major flash flood event in the Carolinas, and it went off for 4 alerts that day. It was pretty cool. Here are the previous alerts I've received on this guy. If I can do that. I got 10 alerts on March 18th during a severe weather event that occurred in Carolina. WXL70, even including a tornado warning for my county right on top of me. I got 2 tornado warnings from my county. One was from my location. It was pretty scary. But I've received 17 EASs since the last time I checked on this one after I unplugged this one and reset it. I've received 17 alerts since February. Not a lot of activity, though, going on. The next radio I'll review is the Midland WR300 version 5. I've had this radio. I got it on Christmas Day 2016, almost in 2017, and it, too, very reliable. It also has AM and FM.
Mariah, I love you.
I remember being so...
So that's also very useful. Has AM and FM capabilities. Let's check out the alert test. And this one also very bright display indeed. Here's the siren test. Another very, very loud weather radio indeed. Oh my goodness. I mean, this one also very loud. It also has gone off for every single alert that it's gone off for. Doesn't have any tuner issues. The signal is crisp.
1 inches and steady. At Gastonia, it was mostly cloudy.
Very crisp signal out of that guy. And same with this dude.
At Monroe.
This one picks up everything that it's received. Very great radio. I would recommend it to just about anybody that wants a weather, even collecting a weather radio. I mean, I'm just new into this collecting thing, and this guy is very reliable, extremely. I mean, these radios will not disappoint you at all. This WR300. This cost me about $50 off of Amazon when I got it. Not terrible, but still pretty pricey. Not awful, though. It's very reliable. Definitely recommend this guy. And you can also block alerts and stuff for this one, like the Recom and the EZ. And you can even do it on the 08500RX, and I got that radio in 2012. The next radio, the most iconic weather radio in the EAS community by far, the Midland WR100. Now, I did review the Midland WR100 series, and I heard that the Midland WR version 5s had tuner problems. Well, I got myself a version 4 off of eBay, and so far, it's been working like a charm. I got this on February 1st, 2021, and it's working like a charm. I mean, it's a very simple radio. I mean, they're extremely common off of eBay. The rarer ones are the WR100 version 3s, and the WR100 version 2s and 1s are like extremely rare. These are extremely common. The version 5s are the most common, but their tuners just, oh my goodness, they're atrocious. But the tuner on this guy working really well. I mean, it's on its second month, almost going on, eventually it will be going on its third month of service. There's the alert test. This radio...
Then a chance of showers in the afternoon. Highs in the mid-70s.
This radio has gone off for every single alert, including the weekly test, and I made sure to factory reset it, except it did not go off for the tornado, North Carolina and South Carolina tornado drill on Wednesday, March 10th. It didn't go off for either one, the test tornado warning in South Carolina or the monthly test, which is very weird. So, during the severe weather event on Thursday the 18th, what I did is I factory reset this radio, and it went off for every alert, all 10 alerts that WXL70 transmitted. It went off for every single alert, which was surprising. You've seen them on my YouTube channel. I set this phone up, and I was able to get some EAS alerts. Got 5. I missed 6, though, unfortunately. Very good radio. Extremely iconic. I mean, if you don't have this radio as a collector, man, you're missing out. I mean, this is a fantastic radio. I mean, the most common of its time. 2011, they discontinued it, unfortunately, into 2012. Very great radio. The version 4s were made in 2007, 2008, and their tuners, even though they're older, they still work. And this one's working like a charm so far. I just hope the tuner on this thing lives throughout the entire year of 2021 and throughout many years.
Climate summary for this evening, as of 4:40 p.m., March 22nd, 2021.
Next.
Today's high temperature.
Next radio is the Midland HH54VP. This one I got on December 2nd, 2020. And I gotta tell you, this is a really nice radio indeed. Very great portable radio to take on the go. It's a fantastic radio. I mean, it's very simple to set up as well. You can set the alert type, voice, display, tone. This is what the alert test sounds like on this guy.
Station fell today.
There's the channels.
8 and 63 an hour. So the year still stands at...
The reception is okay on this thing. I mean, it's not like the most crisp signal, at least on this particular radio. but it's very reliable, and it goes off for every single alert. No problems I've had at all with this one. Very high-pitched alert tone, that's for darn sure. I mean, very good radio. Probably one of my favorites, definitely. This was my 7th radio I collected. The next radio will be the 5th one I collected, and that'll be the Alertworks. But very reliable radio. I mean, if you're taking a radio on the go, this is the one. I mean, this is a fantastic radio. Just in general. I mean, the reception's okay. You know, it could be better, but I really like this one. Next radio, Alertworks EAR-10. This radio I got on Halloween 2020, and this was my 5th radio I collected. I hadn't collected another radio since 2017. So I had 4 radios. This was the last radio I collected before the Alertworks. I got that one on Christmas Day 2017. That one I got on Halloween 2020. Very great radio. I mean, this one has the speaker on it's not super strong. It's a pretty quiet radio.
Once again at 8 p.m. at the Charlotte Airport. It was 60.
However, the alert test, it's got a pretty loud tone. It's got a very loud tone, and this radio comes with a number of features. Indeed, you can set the alert type, same set, any channel. And you can add and disable alerts as well. So it also has that very useful feature on it. It's a very reliable radio. I mean, again, just like the 120, it's extremely reliable. No problems with it whatsoever. And this was my 5th radio I collected on October 2020, on Halloween. The next radio is probably a radio that, you know, a lot of people have had problems with, and it's the RadioShack 12-262. Now, I actually like this radio quite a bit. It's had no major problems at all. Its tuner is working perfectly fine.
An hour. The extended forecast for the listening area. Thursday, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of rain in the morning.
Its tuner's working pretty great. This thing comes with some pretty cool features. Not a whole lot. Backlight. You can set your country, like I'm in the US. You can set the language, set alerts, warning, watch and advisor, and you can disable and enable all kinds of alerts if you want. It's pretty simple. It's not hard at all to set up. I got this one off of eBay for $30. Not too bad. The only problem is this radio did not receive its first 2 weekly tests. I got this one also on February 6th, just 6 days after I got the WR100 version 4. It did not receive its first 2 weekly tests, and so I restarted the radio, and then it went off for the last 2 in February, and then for some strange reason it didn't pick up the tornado drill in North Carolina or South Carolina. It didn't go off for either one of those. It's kind of a ticking time bomb. You don't know when it's not going to go off for an alert. I've had times where, you know, just in the last month where it's gone off for a weekly test and the next week it doesn't. It's very strange. Now, ever since I factory reset the 100 before March 18th, that tornado event that happened in Carolina, severe weather event, the enhanced risk, both of these radios, even though they had not gone off for the tornado drill, they all went off. Both of them went off consistently for every single alert that was issued. So I'm just going to let it sit in the back and hope it goes off for the weekly test this Wednesday. I don't know, but it's a great radio though. I mean, these radios are even older than the WR100 version 4 series. These were made in 2006, 2007. They're pretty old.
It was set in 1965.
So it's understandable that they'd have problems. And here's what the alert test sounds like on this guy. Very loud. I have it on volume 14. I mean, that one is just as loud as the Alertworks. And the Recom and this radio have a very similar alert tone. Very, very similar. And it's a great radio indeed. You know, I'd recommend it. But the tuners have major problems, and the predecessor to this one, the RadioShack 12-521, has some tuner issues as well. I did not get that radio, even though I really thought about getting that one. Instead, I decided to go with the 262. And so far, it's doing all right. The last radio is my least favorite of them all, and that is the Acurite 8553W. Oh my gosh, this radio is a dead speaker. I mean, it does not relay any. I mean, I'm getting nothing out of this guy, unless you press really hard on the speaker, and then it will work. But this radio I got on Christmas Day 2017, it worked fine until last year. Last year around July, this radio fell onto the table. I think my blanket or something knocked it over, and after that the speaker just went dead on it. I mean, before it would come back, but the speaker would be extremely high pitched and just absolute ear rape, and the audio is just very distorted, so it doesn't even go off for any alerts. Well, it does go off for alerts, but you can't hear anything out of it anymore, and it sucks. Sometimes if there's an alert issue, it'll go off and you'll hear the tone and you'll hear the voice, but then it'll cut out. It's pretty much the same as the 08500RX. It has no siren except for a warning, and it's a very mediocre radio. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. The HH54VP is a lot better than this one, but it's my least favorite because it's the first radio I had that's had a problem with it, besides the 262 and the 100 not going off their alerts, but their tuners are fine. They pick up a beautiful signal at a WXL70. This one just, man. And again, it has that same scroll display thing and whatever, and it's not that great. I mean, if it had a good speaker, it would be better, but, you know, I would recommend it, but I would just, you know, it's worth the couple extra dollars for the HH54, and you can get both of these on Amazon, but really, you just avoid that one. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's okay. I mean, just because of the speaker problem, I just don't like that one. It'll go off for alerts, so it'll have a display, the advisory, watch, and warning. So it'll go off for alerts, and it's the reason why I have it up here, because it'll receive the alerts, but it just won't. There's no speaker. I mean, the tuner's fine, everything else is fine, but the speaker's dead on that thing. So it's like, what do, you know? But that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this review of my weather radio collection. I have 9. I would gladly get more than that, but that's pretty much all I'm going to do for now of the collection. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I would get more radios, but I got to save up for other priorities. I'd probably collect another 5, 10 weather radios. I definitely would consider getting a Eton Zone Guard. That would probably be the next radio I would get, and those are pretty cheap off of eBay. I could get one of those for $30, but I hope y'all enjoyed the review. I'll be uploading this to my channel recently, and that's all.